Today we'd have a look at these PNI radios, which all look to me like the same chassis. As we've seen with the Thunderpole and the Moonraker sets. So the 8000L, the 8001, which comes with an earphone, it says, and the 8024, which is 24 volts as well. So they're all likely to be the same chassis. And they don't have RF gain, do they? If you remember, we had snagged with RF gain not working. But they all say on the box 26965 to 27405. So they may not be multi-norm. So I may have done a bit of a boo-boo here and have bought totally useless new sets which are European only. So we're going to take them out of the box and put them on a power supply and see whether they are multi-norm. Before we do that, I need this power supply with the cigarette lighter socket on, and I bought this from the United States, the thing on the top, the Radio Shack 3A power supply, and we'll probably be doing a video on this because I couldn't find one in the UK that was a 3A kind of power supply that had a cigarette lighter socket on for the convenience of these CB radios that are currently coming with cigarette lighter plugs. I don't want to start chopping all the plugs off, and don't want adapter leads. Just a bit of a faff with crocodile clips and things. So I thought I'd buy this, and by the time I paid import duty now, you know, it wasn't much change out of £50, but it kind of fits a bill. So we're just running that from our 120 volt step down transformer, because we're on 230 volts and that's 117. So I'm just going to check it for the first time, because we've not powered it up or anything. We might have bought a faulty one, and just make sure it is doing something like 13.8 before I blow up 3 new radios. There we have it, 13.7 volts, that's absolutely fine. So we'll carry on with the job in hand. So we start with the 8000L, and I have seen 2 of these models on eBay saying they do UK frequencies, but it doesn't say so on the box. So this is what we're here to find out. There's nothing worse than somebody who doesn't know anything about CB radio wanting one which works in the UK and then discovering that it only does European frequencies, which may not be what they want. So these seem to be more on the Polish market. I didn't say I could get into the packet. Oh look, they do other things. Wonderful. Oh look, they do CB radios. Well, that's useful, a little bit of information. And there's a table here in the book that says UK. So the cheapest one looks like we're going to be okay. Same kind of bag. If you can hear the washing machine in the background in the next room, we're in the middle of this coronavirus lockdown and Mr. Chippy got stuck here. He lives 94 miles from here, near Bradford in Yorkshire. We're near Grantham in Lincolnshire. So he's unable to go home and he's stuck here. And we've had to put a bed in what we use as a storeroom. Although this is a 4-bedroom bungalow, we use 3 of the rooms for two workshops and 1 for storage. So we've had to shove a bed amongst racks of electronic components. And he isn't up yet, and I'm recording this at 7:30 in the morning. So fancy being stuck at Tango Towers with 250 CB radio. And worse still, me for company. So, let's have a look at this. So power supply's on. Okay, so it's booted up on channel 22. Better read the instruction book as to how it's done. Changing the standards. Why, see, I wouldn't have guessed that in a month of Sundays. You plug the mic in. It's actually quite a thin lead. It's a rubbery mic, so leave that in the car for 2 years and it'll be sticky. So whilst holding down the PTT, the down and PTT buttons on the mic, so down and PTT on the mic, turn on the radio. And then using the up and down keys, select the appropriate area. So there we are, UK. And then what? Turn off the radio. Turn it back on again. Yep, it is in UK. So it looks like it's going to be FM in the AM position. We'll have to verify this on the test set for CPT channels, and then UK, your 40 channels in that way. Right, well, we'll put that to one side and we'll see whether the next model up. I mean, these were very, very cheap. Was it something like £44, something like that? I think the other one was 49, the other one was 59. They were exceedingly cheap anyway, and I did have fear that, especially the cheapest one, wouldn't do UK channels, because it doesn't say so on the box. Nowhere on that box does it say that it's a CE multi-set. Anyway, I do need to go and do a task. So I'm going to come back and we'll carry on with the next two. So we'll move on to the second set, which is the 8001L, which again on the box says 26965 to 27405, in the hope that it will do UK frequencies. So once again there's a package of stuff. It'd be even better if I could find the way in. One of the days when they put a nice handy circuit diagram in the back. Well, it looks again like this is going to do UK. If I can just find English. So you get this earpiece with it. So better plug the mic in like we did the other Same kind of mic, thin flexible lead, incidentally the 6-pin. Right, so it was PTT and down and switch it on the other one, up and down that'll be UK, switch it off and on. Yeah, we're in UK, so that one does it too. So we'll move on to the third set. I'm feeling now that, having found that 2 out of 3 do indeed do UK, the more expensive model will also do it. So this is the HP 8024. And again it does list other countries. So we'll go for that. Mr. Chippy took one look at these yesterday and he says, I think you've made a bit of a boo-boo there, because I don't think they do UK. And it's a shame they haven't mentioned on the box the fact they are multi-norm sets. I think that's going to cost them in sales, because if it was true as the frequencies marked, they're just Euro only sets. In. Same mic again, thin flexible lead, 6-pin plug. So switch it on. So PTT down, on. Select U. There we have U. Switch it off. Switch it on. And I'll just check it's C in that mode and U in that mode. So all 3 are CE multi-sets. So that's good news. So I'm going to pause the camera, I'm going to open all 3 up and we're going to put them on the bench side by side, and no doubt they have the same chassis. Of course they just have different features. Before I take all those apart, there were another 2 PNI sets that I bought in, which will be covering in the future. This says multi-standard transceiver on it, and this is their small one. It's probably going to be like the CRT one, is it? Or is that the Midland one? Anyway, that's the small one they do, and then they do this all-in-one set, a bit like those Cobras, where you've got a kind of adapter that goes to a cigarette lighter, and the radio is just a handheld thing. So it's not a walkie-talkie, there's no battery pack, and it comes with an aerial, which will be interesting, on very thin cable. That'll be a very good subject to a range test. That's something else which does say it's multi-band. That's the Escort HP62. Anyway, I was just going to take those sets apart and we'll look at the chassis. And so in conclusion, those 3 sets are of course the same chassis. So what a pleasant surprise that all 3 sets are EU multi-norms, and not just, as they say on them, that they cover the CPT band for 40 channels. So we'll take the cheapest one and we'll do a service on that, and then we'll do a range test and see how it performs. I've got a memory like a sieve, and those of you who recognise things better than I do, I'd be no good on an identity parade. I expect this is the same chassis as in those Thunderbolt T800s and those other ones which we recently did. I was in the Moonraker Minor Plus or something. Anyway, I'll look forward to putting one on the bench and just seeing whether we've got CPU noise. At least I haven't got an RF gain control to lie about, so there we are. So I'm really pleasantly surprised. Thank you for watching.